What's up, guys? Hey, Jerry here, Sheepdog Ops. I obviously what you're gonna see here is a video. I'm actually headed to the Institute of Technology now, and I'm giving you another video, guys. Content. That's what keeps driving this channel. So, we're gonna be sitting down with one of the instructors. We're doing a talk on the sheepdog mindset or the warrior mindset. I think this is a great talk. This is something that's important everywhere you go, whether you are in a first responder or military career field, or if you're just trying to live your life day to day, is that you can't be oblivious to certain things. So I think this is a great talk. I'm going to go get this all filmed up for you. It's going to be freaking awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. And then stay tuned for after, because I've got a couple announcements. So here you guys go without further ado. Hey guys, I'm Jerry with Sheepdog Ops. We're out here again at the Institute of Technology, and we've got another instructor, Scott Sobel here. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a minute. We're going to be talking about a couple of important topics as far as training goes, as far as being in any kind of first responder or military situation. So, Scott?
Scott Sobel was retired after 21 years. Did mostly patrol, did a little bit of narcotics, but mainly it was patrol cop, and did a couple years of bike patrol. So that was my little bit of crisis negotiation at the end of my career for about 2 years. And that's my background. I worked for a big agency and a medium-sized agency, so I kind of have the best of both worlds.
Which one did you prefer as far as working?
They both had their benefits and drawbacks. Big agencies fun because you get to go move all around if you want to, or there's 100 different jobs you can go do within the agency and never leave the agency. Or if you find one thing you really love to do, if you love being a detective, you can be a detective your whole 30-year career and never leave. On the flip side, you just can be a number there.
But I know today the topic that we kind of wanted to discuss was this mentality, or as it was elegantly put to me the first time we did this, was the sheepdog mentality, that kind of warrior mentality. If you could go into a little bit on that, that would be fantastic as far as what it means to have that as an officer.
Well, for me, it's just knowing why you're going to train to do the job, right? Most of the job, I would say, is mental preparation. Reading on other people's past experiences, or just having the mental discipline to do the mundane things. It doesn't take real much effort to do, dry firing or manipulation drills. Those aren't real really exciting things to do. But do you have the mental discipline to go out and do your 10 draws a day? Do you practice your manipulations? Do you practice your speed reloads? Do you practice your dry firing? Mental preparation just has to do with you being disciplined enough to go do all the little things to get yourself ready. And I think people neglect just the fundamentals of training often.
And that's a great point, because I think that when we went through this talk originally, Scott was one of my instructors here at the Institute of Technology, and we went through a whole speech on this as far as practicing the mundane, because of how important it is. It's not the matter of practicing it because it's important to practice, but because if you don't practice it, you don't have it for when you need it. You can't use something you don't have, obviously. And you had brought up a few books that you had read that were great. If you'd like to kind of talk about those just briefly, that would be.
On combat and on killing, if I had to, recommend one book for anybody to read, I would say read Grossman's book on combat. I wish I'd read it at the very beginning of my career instead of towards the middle or second half, because it gives you all the information you need on why training is important. There's a reason why you rep something 1,000 times. It's because when you get under stress and you have elevated heart rates and you've got adrenaline dumps, you start losing your physical dexterity. You can't do all the fine manipulations that you do under little or no stress. Now you can overcome that to an extent if you train enough, do enough repetitions. You get it on autopilot, so to speak. You can just, when it's time to draw, you don't really have a conscious memory of drawing your weapon. It's just something that you do. There's a threat, and I don't remember unsnapping my holster and coming out on target. You just do it. But there's a reason why you do that. It's because you will lose your fine motor skills. Right? So there's some science behind why you need to rep things 1,000 times. Standing on a range and making a headshot under zero stress is far different than if you were doing it under extreme stress. So, we practiced, and last week I went up and I missed a headshot. Well, had I really missed a headshot in real life, my life would have been changed forever, and the people involved, obviously, their lives would have been changed forever. So I've been doing it for 20 years, and I still miss a shot under realistically not very much stress, right? The screen's not going to shoot back at me. I know that, and yet I still miss a shot. So even after a long time and lots of practice, you still need to keep training because in that situation, I didn't meet the standard.
It's a use or lose kind of situation. That can be scary, especially in this career field. The cops don't remember actually drawing. They don't remember hearing the shots ring out. They don't, remember reloading 2 or 3 times and sending that much ammunition down range. There was these different levels.
I think they originally were called Cooper's colors. I think a guy named Cooper is the guy who originally came up with them, and then other people have run with it basically. But yeah, there's conditions, white, yellow, red, and black, and there are different levels of heart rates. That's not science. It's not like at 120 heartbeats X happens, but generally speaking, the higher up your heart rate goes, there are things that happen to your body. You talked about some of them. Your hearing goes out. You'll get tunnel vision. You'll lose your physical dexterity. These are all things that will happen to you physically, and if you're not prepared or aware that some of these things are going to happen, then it can really hurt you if you're out in a real life situation, and maybe you have to give really short, clear commands because under high stress, somebody you're trying to contact isn't going to hear some long drawn out sentence of instructions, right? Their hearing's already shot, they're tuning out, it's going away, so you got to keep it short and sweet and make sure they understand what's going on. Are you physically able to carry out the task that you are that you need to do, or are you so out of shape that you just can't? Can you no longer communicate? Can you no longer talk? These are all things that you need to keep in mind as you go up the scale.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, black, you don't want to get there. That's just your body shut down. And, we've watched some videos on that. And
along some of those lines that we're talking about as far as equipment and doing your draws and stuff like that, is there any other mindset that you would say is important as far as your equipment goes as a whole?
Yeah, I would say once you pick your gear, just stick with your gear and become familiar with it. And just, obviously if things change, at some point if your agency goes to a vest or something, okay, you have to change because that's what you have to do. But, become familiar with it. And if when we went to vests, I never switched over to the vest because I always carried my magazines on my belt because that's how I was trained. And I've been doing it for so long that I didn't want to try to break my old muscle memory. And I just kept, my ammo where it was, and I never switched over to a vest because I wanted my gear the same spot where I always carried it. And I was familiar with it. So I would say pick something you like, and then once you get it set up how you want it set up, leave it alone.
The last kind of thing that I would love to hear about again is, I know when we talked about it, there was society was kind of broken down into three different areas. And I know that you had a great explanation for that as far as the sheepdog and all that stuff. If you could.
Well, that's not mine. That's Grossman's.
Yes.
Right. I just read it out of a book, and that's why I suggest everybody read the book. But as he breaks it down, and actually I think Grossman stole it from I think he says an Army colonel. So this has been around for many years, right? But in the book they basically break it down. There's sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. And there's certain amount of people in society who they don't want any problems. They're good people. They're not going to go out and harm other people unless they're under extreme provoked under some extreme, they're defending their kids or something. That's one group of people. Then there's a group of people who are kind of defined as wolves, and they have no problem picking on those who are weaker or taking advantage of people when they have an opportunity to, and they will prey on the weak, and they have no social conscience that stops them from doing that. And then they can be very aggressive. And then as Grossman says, and there's the sheepdogs who do care about their society, but also kind of have the gift of aggression, or the willingness to be aggressive, and they're the protectors. They're the sheepdogs, so that's a pretty famous one that he talks about. He talks about it more than a whole chapter, in the book.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that was a 30-second summary of more than a chapter that he talks about. Just having the mentality of, don't be a victim. Don't walk around thinking, well, that's never going to happen to me, or nothing ever bad's going to happen to me. That may be true. You may go 40 years and nothing bad may ever happen to you, but that doesn't mean it can't.
Or that it won't.
Or that it won't. So, have the mental preparation, especially if you're going to get into this line of work. Complacency is a killer. It will happen to everybody. I've heard it 1,000 times. Oh, don't become complacent. Don't become complacent. Well, okay, that's unrealistic, because I want you to go handle an alarm call 1,000 times in a row with nothing really super serious happen, and tell me you're never going to get complacent. Well, that's unrealistic. But you want to fight against it.
No one's capable of being completely, free of complacency.
Can you imagine walking around on your ultimate high alert for 24 hours a day your entire life? Nobody can walk around like that. You can't be on, nonstop at your highest amount or your highest level. So, but you don't want to be, on the flip side, oblivious to all that's around you.
Walking around in that white zone, like
right.
you were saying.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy either.
I appreciate that. I think that was one of the great parts of that book when we went through the couple chapters that we got to go through together. And I have to agree with Scott. I definitely would get that book, either whether it be on Audible or find an actual copy of it, and listen to it. I've listened to it, I think, 2 times now, all the way through, and I'll start listening to it on my 3rd time at the beginning of the year again. I appreciate you taking the time with us and sitting down and kind of going through this thing. Is there anything else that you have, final notes or anything that you want to?
No, just, most of the job is not super glamorous. You got to study law, you got to study case law, you got to practice your draws, you got to work out. It's not really a glamorous job behind the scenes. Yeah, it's fun when you get to go out and do the fun stuff, but in order to get there, it's a lot of work and a lot of studying, a lot of repetition, mastering mundane things that are, but the fundamentals of police work. So I would say just be prepared for spending a lot of time doing the non-glamorous things, and if you can get through that, then you're probably okay.
Perfect. All right, so I think that cuts it for this video right now, and we'll definitely get back with you and talk with you again and have some more conversations if you're up for it, because sure. I think these are the keys. These are the importance, the basics that I think most people are missing out on. So,
all right,
I appreciate it.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was our boy Scott over there. He does excellent. He has excellent talks about this stuff. I hope you enjoyed our talk. I really had a good time talking to him, and I don't see why anyone else wouldn't. So, couple of things that I wanted to announce to you guys and let you guys know. We are looking to get better cameras so that we're not sticking just with the phones and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I want to make sure that I get a shout out to our sponsors here, or the guys that we're affiliated with. One is Battle Rattle. These guys right here. They hook us up with equipment and gear, and then I get that out to you guys. So I know that I have a few shirts that I'm getting ready to give out. I know that our guy Michael over there is working tirelessly to give you guys more and more styles and stuff like that. So go check them out. Also, huge thing that they've got going on right now is they've got a subscription, a shirt subscription. I know that all the other brands and all the other people do it, and it's $20 or something a month, and you get a shirt, and it's a random shirt. But Battle Rattle does it. It's $4.99 starting off. They've got all sorts of different ones, so if you're looking for something specific, they can hook you guys up. Definitely go check them out. Get over on their site and go give them some love, because they do an excellent job and make some great stuff. I love these lightweight hoodies that they keep sending me. They're phenomenal. They're not too hot, not too cold, and the material is fantastic. Heck, my wife won't stop stealing them from me. So check out Ping Pong Tactical over on Instagram. I know that they're working on some other stuff as far as where they'll be putting all their stuff, Facebook, website, things like that. And then I know he wasn't in this video. He's supposed to be in one of my upcoming videos, is Andrew Tyson. Go check out his YouTube channel. He's an affiliate with us. He does our training sessions. I know we haven't done that in a while. I've got one that I just need to edit, and that way I can get it to you guys. But it'll come out soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Watch it and share it and give it to all the people that you think may need it. And catch you guys in the next video. Peace.